When I started on Threads, I posted this. Dear algorithm, please connect me with the others. The nerdy Zennial moms who speak fluent meme and moral nuance. The late-diagnosed neurodivergent women breaking cycles between coffee refills and executive dysfunction. The ones parenting through CPTSD, healing through Google Docs, and crying at Pixar films that hit too close. I'm not here to go viral. I'm here to find the ones who stim, scroll, overthink. If they're out there, point them this way. I've got snacks, sarcasm, and zero judgment. So before this podcast became the Nostalgic Neurodivergent, it lived many lives just like we all do. It started as Autism Family Life, then became Authentically Autistic and ADHD, briefly Autism, ADHD, and Me, and then Neurodivergent Mom Life. Each name carried a part of the journey of diagnosis, of unlearning, of becoming. So this evolution wasn't just rebranding, it was integration. Because I wasn't just changing the show, I was changing my relationship to myself. And now here we are, at the Nostalgic Neurodivergent, still hosted by me, Kori, late-diagnosed ADHD mom and empowerment coach for neurodivergent women. This podcast that we're coming into now is about what it means to be seen without sanding down the parts of you that never fit. And we're going to start this off by coming into a new series that I call The Master Narrative. It's a 10-part journey through the stories that shaped me and my neurodivergent journey. The Wizard of Oz, Phantom of the Opera, Little House on the Prairie, Jane Eyre, Anne of Green Gables, The Chronicles of Narnia, Final Fantasy, and a few others. These were the stories that I returned to again and again, not because they were perfect, but because they mirrored something I just didn't have the language for yet. And once that wraps up, we're going to move into a new series called Hidden in Plain Sight. This one breaks open familiar characters and pop culture moments to name the neurodivergence that was always there, just never spoken aloud. This is not nostalgia for nostalgia's sake. It's about reclamation of the characters we loved, of the patterns we carried, and of the selves we're still meeting. If you want more in between episodes, please join me on The Mirror and the Mask, which are mini drops every Wednesday, and then additional videos on Sundays on YouTube. They're the short, grounded reflections for anyone moving through identity shifts, visibility wobbles, or days when words feel just a little bit too big. And if you want something deeper, there's Unmasking Myself, a YouTube-only series about what it really means to live, be a mom, and create inside a neurodivergent body without the performance. It's not about fixing symptoms or becoming more productive. It's about meeting yourself underneath the masks you were taught to wear. The mask of being high function, the mask of emotional regulation when you're in survival, and the mask of motherhood that never lets you completely fall apart. That series names what's rarely said but deeply felt: the grief of being misunderstood, the guilt of cycle breaking while still yelling sometimes, and the nervous system weight of just being perceived. Each episode holds both science and soul and story. The nervous system meets the soul, and the deeper through line is diagnosis. It's dignity. Because this isn't about who you're becoming, it's about who you've always been underneath the mask, and what it finally means to be safe enough to be her. Those episodes drop every Friday on YouTube, and then you can find a blog post over on empoweredneuromom.com. This podcast and every piece that I produce isn't about performing understanding. It's about remembering who you were before you had to explain everything. You're not too much. You're just not hiding anymore. Welcome to the story, and I'll see you in the next episode.